1830, the president's pen drew a line between the land and the men. The Indian Removal Act, 6 words of law, the legal machinery of a nation's raw flaw. They built their courts, their schools, their written tongue, had treaties signed before this country was young. But paper means nothing when the hunger runs deep and the powerful decide what the powerless keep. The soldiers came before the harvest fell, drove families at gunpoint into stockades of hell. A summer of sickness, of filth and of dread, hundreds already buried, already dead. They stripped the fields and burned the homes to ash, mocked the churches standing, turned the sacred to trash. Then October came cold and the long march began, 1,000 miles of winter through a merciless land. This was no migration, no noble frontier. This was execution by exposure and fear. No battlefield glory, no declaration was read, just the slow, quiet murder of thousands instead. Oh, trail of tears, your wound is still raw. A sovereign people devoured by a lawless law. 4,000 bodies in the frozen, unmarked ground, their names lost to silence, their voices not found. Trail of tears, we will not let you be erased. Let every generation look this history in the face. From the ashes of removal, the people still rise. Native truth, native fire burns beneath these skies. In 1838, the ground too frozen hard to consecrate. Elders wrapped in rags, barefoot through the snow. Infants at the breast with nowhere left to go. The wagons went to offices, the sick walked the road. The dying were abandoned to lighten the load. A grandmother fell and no one dared to stop. A child stopped breathing somewhere past Chickasaw bluffs. 4,000 is the number that the textbooks still cite, but behind every number was a face in the night. Sally Nancy wore the names we still speak against the silence of graves. The living still seek the Great Spirit. Witnessed every unmarked stone, every people ever told they had no claim to home. Those cries don't disappear when the decades move on. History doesn't end just because the living are gone. Oh, trail of tears, your wound is still raw. A sovereign people devoured by a lawless law. 4,000 bodies in the frozen, unmarked ground, their names lost to silence, their voices not found. Trail of tears, we will not let you be erased. Let every generation look this history in the face. From the ashes of removal, the people still rise. Native truth, native fire burns beneath these skies. Reduce this to a lesson plan, or shrink it to a paragraph that fits a 5-minute span. This was a crime with a signature, a crime with a date, a crime that built a nation on the backs of the displaced. We rebuild on lands unknown, yes, but we rebuild with truth, not with the whitewash myths they hand down to the youth. The Cherokee nation stands, the Choctaw endures, the Muscogee, the Seminole, their sovereignty yours. For every generation born, not knowing the name, We sing it loud and unashamed. Remember who's to blame. Those scars are not healed by saying time moves on. The trail does not forgive by going silent in a song. Oh, trail of tears, your wound is still raw. A sovereign people devoured by a lawless law. 4,000 bodies in the frozen unmarked ground. Their names lost to silence. Their voices not found. Trail of tears, we will not let you be erased. Let every generation look this history in the face. From the ashes of removal, the people still rise. Native truth, native fire burns beneath these skies. Remember, say their names. Remember. So hear this cry. Let the record stand. The trail of tears was policy. It was planned. Not a tragedy of nature, not an act of fate.